Hello guys, I forgot to do an intro. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope that everything is amazing for you guys. If it isn't, I hope this video cheers you guys up. Honestly, like this is all about how to keep yourself positive, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, it's Emily. I'm going to be putting on makeup today. Anyway, I'm going to be doing 10 tips on how to love yourself and how to really embrace your personality, your looks, whatever. And I just want to give you guys 10 tips on how to accept yourself. So let's get started. I'm just going to be putting on makeup while I'm talking. Oh wait, where's my mirror? Tip number 1 is going to be you have to realize that everyone makes mistakes, literally everyone, and you can't be so harsh on yourself. I know I'm really harsh on myself. I'm spritzing this on, if you wonder what that is. I'm really harsh on myself, and if I make a mistake, if I do something weird, if I say something weird, I'm really harsh on myself. I will sit there and think about it for hours and hours. And you just have to realize that literally everyone has this thought. Literally everyone loses sleep over something dumb that they said or did. And you just have to kind of trick your brain into thinking that it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. No one is perfect. That's the very first step, is just acknowledging that. Tip number 2 is give yourself a me day. I talked about this before. It's treat yourself day, whatever you want to call it. I call it me day. My friends and I basically will have a me day if we hang out a lot and we're just really stressed or bummed about something. I just took a shower. I'm sorry, my hair looks terrible. Whatever. What was I talking about? So if I'm an extrovert, okay, and my friend just made a video and mentioned she's an introvert, and that made my connection right here, because I was like, how do I explain this? But I'm an extrovert. That doesn't mean I'm always outgoing. That's not what an extrovert means. An extrovert means that you're charged after the day if you talk to a lot of people. An introvert means that you feel kind of tired after you talk to a lot of people, and you kind of you need that rest day. So to me, I'm the most happy with myself when I am hanging out with my friends and I come home and I'm I literally get hyper by myself at home just after hanging out with friends. I want to always hang out. It's always a constant thing. And anyway, so I always think that I'm gonna be happier or I'm gonna be in a better mood if I go hang out. But sometimes even extroverts like me need that day to just collect yourself. Anyway, that is tip number 2. Make sure that you have a me day, some kind of day throughout the week. I always do Friday's my me day because I don't have school, but everyone leaves at my house. So that's my me day. Sunday's usually me day for everyone because I don't know, it's just kind of the end of the week, you're starting over, that kind of thing. Okay, so tip number 3 is to avoid social media. Especially, this is with body image. I used to suffer from eating disorders, mentally and physically, kind of looking at myself. Whenever I'd eat food, it was painful almost. That was a while ago, but I still do that occasionally. This is highlighter. I don't know. I don't do anything in order. I'm very sorry for makeup guru. I know that this is probably really painful to watch, but I'm sorry. I don't know how to do makeup. I got a new mascara. This is the cheapest one they have, and I'm broke, so I will get this one. It's actually good. It's not bad at all. You see it L'Oreal Paris, but pretty sure they tested on animals, so I'm not down for that. I don't know if Maybelline does, but hopefully not. Anyway, back to social media. Basically, I am addicted to Instagram. I scroll through it probably half my day. So what happens is, if you look through this, yes, it can be inspirational. But if you get addicted to it like I am, then it can be really... Doggo. He always wants to invade in the videos. I'm sorry. If you get addicted to it, then it's not a good thing at all. In fact, I get addicted to it all the time. I scroll through, I judge myself compared to others. I always look at someone else's outfit, I always look at their body, and not that there's anything against them at all. It's just that when you're hard on yourself like I am, you look at these people and you're like, why am I not like them? And it's not anything that they're doing, it's more about your mindset. And if you already are in that toxic mindset, Instagram is not going to help you there. Tip number 4 is has to do with Instagram again, or any kind of social media. Clean out your social media. This is all about cleaning your mindset, but it's also about what affects your mindset. I used to follow all these accounts that had like negative health ones, like talking about like limiting your calories and stuff like that. Not talking about what you can eat instead of junk food, more talking about like what you can limit from yourself, talking about restrictions on your own body, stuff like that. And I just went through my Instagram, like I do it actually every single month. I clean out my Instagram. So basically I go through my feed. If I haven't liked, I don't like pictures very often, but if I haven't liked, if I haven't looked at this person's thing in a while and they just aren't giving me that positive, like, you know what I mean, then I just unfollow them. Then if I see something, like if I see a positive person, I kind of go through who they follow and I follow them. So that's what I say, cleaning out Instagram. Tip number 5 is basically like, it's kind of weird, but don't look in the mirror so much. I used to kind of like look in the mirror at school. Like I would go in the bathroom and just look in the mirror, like just to check if I look okay, and then I'd like sit there and pinpoint everything that's wrong. And like, I don't know if you've ever been in the mirror bathrooms, like, or the bathroom mirrors at school, but they make you look hideous, so that's not a good thing. But looking in the mirror constantly, being self-conscious of what you look like, going into the bathroom like I do. I don't know if anyone else does that, but you just kind of like look in your mirror, like keep fixing your hair, and you keep like, oh my god, like why is this here, you know, whatever. Like just don't do it. Like no one else notices that pimple on you, no one else notices any of that, so you should just like kind of ignore it. Like when you look at someone, you don't sit there pinpointing their pimples, you just talking to them like a normal person. So treat yourself the same way. Tip number 6 is finding someone to talk to. Basically, like if you internalize all your problems and stuff like that, if you internalize what's going on, no one is ever gonna help you. Like you can't sit there saying like, oh, I wish someone would help me, and then not tell anyone about it. Telling you guys what I do all the time. If you have someone to rant to or whatever, if you have someone to talk to, that would be great. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be your parents, your sisters, your brother, your friends. My friends are usually the ones that I talk to. Like, make sure that you are externalizing the problem. They can really put it into perspective for you about how this issue is not big at all. Sometimes when you think over and over again, you start thinking it's the center of the world or whatever, it's like gonna ruin your life. It really isn't. Like usually it's not, and if it is, at least you have someone there to help you. Just make sure that you find that person to trust in, or just tell that person, hey, can I rant to you real quick? Like I'm not looking for any advice or anything, or maybe I am, but just like tell them what you need, like maybe someone just to listen to. Okay, so I've been kind of talking about how to like fix these problems and stuff, but that kind of opens your eyes, but how do you actually like love yourself? It's such a big obstacle when you've been telling yourself all these things before. You are your biggest enemy, basically. Like that's what you guys need to know. And when you become your best friend, like when you turn that mindset around, that's when you can start actually appreciating yourself. Another thing is turning negatives into positives. So this is tip number 7, I believe. I think that when something bad happens, before you go rant to someone or blame yourself for that happening, you should definitely write it down on like maybe a journal, maybe a piece of paper, or maybe type it into your notes. That's what I do. Write down exactly how you're feeling, and then kind of think about like what out of this negative, what came out of it, like what positive came out of it. Maybe if you were super late to something and, you know, like, I don't know, like you had to get gas, you forgot to get gas or whatever, that to me, I'll say like to myself, like, well, you know what, I learned my lesson. Now I need to fill the gas tank every single day. This won't happen again. Maybe the next time it would have been even more serious, so now I know better. Kind of like that. Like I'll turn it into a positive, and even though like I'll turn it into a lesson. It actually helps how you see yourself, instead of like you're just a like clumsy like mistake maker, you're always late or whatever. You can turn it around and say, okay, I learned this from last time. I learned this, and I'm going to do this next time. And that really moves you forward so that you never feel that way again. Tip number 8 is like let things go sometimes. If you hold on to something negative, then you will have a negative mindset. That's the only thing. So if you think about something so much, all you need to do is externalize it. Like, I'm all about that. So I've never had an anxiety attack, but I know some people who have. And what they say is that you get so caught up in your head that you start like panicking, and it's because you're literally stuck in a loop in your head. And a way to fix that, like, this is what they've told me, and it could work for some people, but you kind of like look out and just like point out like objects in front of you. Well, I kind of take that and like say that you should point out things that are actually happening. So instead of over dramatic, I don't know how to say this, like overemphasizing what happened. Like, say you like kind of tripped a little bit and you thought everyone saw you, you're so embarrassed, you can't stop thinking about it. Kind of reverse back and say like, okay, honestly, like, how many people trip a day and how many times did I actually see it? And if I do see it, what do I think? Like, do I think, oh my god, that is so lame? Or do I think, oh my gosh, that poor person? Or do I not even think about it? You caring so much about it is just you getting stuck in that loop, and then you need to kind of externalize it. Like, look at what other people are thinking that may help, or just look at what the actual situation was. Maybe it wasn't that bad at all. Tip number 9 is basically, never let jealousy or envy get in the way of friendships or anything like that, or really anything, even if you guys aren't friends. You're doing great things every single day and you don't even realize. Like, you could be getting stuck in something bad that happened, but what you really need to do is stop comparing yourself to others. And like, that goes back to the social media thing, but seriously, like, comparing yourself to others and then getting jealous over what they do is not going to help your mental health at all. In fact, it's going to make you hate yourself, because not only will you be comparing yourself and feeling less than them, and not only will you be becoming like competitive with them, but also you'll be feeling guilty for feeling jealous of them, like especially if it's a friend or something. Look at the situation, and like, when you catch yourself getting jealous, that's when you know that you're making a step. You're saying, oh my gosh, like, why am I jealous of this girl? She lives a completely different life than me. We're not the same person. Look at all the stuff I've done. Look at all the stuff she's done. She's just posting this on Instagram. She's just putting out a facade maybe, and she's putting out all the good things that she does. And I'm putting out all the good things that I do. Like, let's not compare each other. You know what I mean? So, I have bad bruises right here. My last tip is going to sound super generic. You've heard it a million times. Be yourself. This is one of those really cliche things that everyone says, and I feel like everyone tries to explain. And it's really hard to explain. Like, how can you be yourself if you don't even like yourself? Put yourself out there the way you are. And when you realize that people like who you are, that's when you can start liking yourself. I don't know, that's how I work. Like, you are you. You're so unique and you're so different than everyone. And the thing is that if you say something like honestly what you're thinking, who you are, and you're accepted for that, that feeling is so much greater than putting on a facade and being accepted for that. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this was helpful. I hope that this relates to people. Like, I know everyone is different. I know everyone is like thinking different things, but this is just my personal take on how to love yourself, how to be yourself, how to accept yourself. So I'm about to drive to work, but thank you so much everyone for watching. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if any of this related to you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye!